in the last stream, we were working on crafting almost every single remaining creative item that we need in order to craft the creative chest. And I believe, as of right now, the only thing that we do not have is a second everlasting guilty pool. I'm pretty certain that in our refined storage system right now, we have every single one of the other items required to make this creative chest. And so, in terms of making a second everlasting guilty pool here, again, I think the only thing we're really missing is more Gaia spirits. We can make more mana pools, we can make more diluted mana pools, we can make more fabulous mana pools, we can make more Terra Steel. Of course, we have infinite mana now. The only thing we don't have is the 24 required Gaia spirits. We have currently just 4 of them. And if we want to get 24, we have 2 options. We could either do the regular Gaia fight 3 times, or we could do the harder Gaia fight twice. And I think the latter there is going to be the better option for us. For that, we are going to have to spend the first 4 Gaia spirits that we have here on getting a Gaia spirit ingot. Of course, that needs to be done in our crafting grid and not inside of our pattern terminal. But once we have this, we can head through to the Twilight Forest and fight the Gaia again. Just like before, I am going to go ahead and get some Insanium apples just to make sure that we have a little bit of extra resistance against the Gaia, so that hopefully we don't die too easily. And I do wonder, are there creative apples? There are no creative apples. I wondered if we could use the creative essence to potentially get a creative apple. Nevertheless, unfortunately, does not seem to be a thing. That is completely fine. We have enough food in our backpack, and I'm pretty sure that this is all still set up how we need it. There is a lot of living rock here, and with good reason, actually. We can't fight the Gaia with the living rock here, but what I might do then, instead of tearing this down right away, is I might quickly spend a second harvesting some living rock so that we can get enough to make all of the mana pools we need. Actually, how much do we have? We got 259. I have a feeling that we're going to need more. And so I'm going to grab the exchanging gadget. I'm going to grab a bunch of stone out of our transmutation tablet here. And I'll spend a few minutes quickly transmuting some regular stone into living rock. And then once we've got a decent amount of that, then we can tear down all of the living rock and all of the pure daisies here. And we can see about fighting this tier 2 Gaia 2 more times. Okay, so we've now got over 1,000 living rock, and I've brought back all of the pure daisies. Before we fight the Gaia, though, the Twitch chat has suggested that we maybe go ahead and make an unobtanium sword, because it's going to do, I think, a lot more damage than our current sword here. This has an attack damage of 28. People pointed out that my unobtanium pickaxe has an attack damage of 97, which is already substantially higher than our insanium sword. And if we look at the unobtanium sword from Tinker's Construct here, it has an attack damage of 295. And so I think it's going to be worth doing. Another thing the Twitch chat pointed out, which is quite useful, is if you take your basic fluid tank, or any bucket really, you can extract from the creative tank, and then you can place that into the smeltery like this, and that basically means we don't have to keep working on getting even more soul lava to melt unobtanium, which is very useful. So what we are going to do is we're going to make a sand cast, because the Twitch chat also keeps suggesting that I make these sand casts here. The idea with these is that they're kind of like single-use gold casts, and so what we should be able to do is, for example, take some cobblestone, and then inside of our part builder, if we get some more blank patterns, which I really thought we were going to have, but apparently we do not, that is fine. If we quickly craft up some more blank patterns, we can place those into the part builder, and then we can make, for example here, a small stone sword blade. We can then put that into the sand, like so, and then we can just pull the molten unobtanium out. This will use up the cast, but it does the job. It means we don't have to wait for gold to smelt up inside of the smeltery. And then we do have to choose what material we're going to use for the rest of our weaponry. I don't know. For example, like if we look in here, we're going to make just a regular sword, which requires a small blade and 2 tool handles. I wonder if unobtanium tool handles are worth investing in. They have a durability of 4.5x, a attack damage speed of 3. Yeah, I think these are definitely worth investing in. And so let's do something like this. If we quickly grab just a regular tool handle like this, we're going to need 2 of these, I guess. We can then do this, and of course we can speed this up to make it a fair bit faster. There we go. And then we can do the same thing again here. We can put in another blank cast, another stone tool handle, and then pull that out and pull this over. Nice. Okay, cool. So that should be a pretty powerful unobtanium sword. It is with 295.6 attack damage. That is without modifiers. We could, if we wanted to, grab like some nether quartz. Quartz does make the attack damage higher. I don't know if it's going to have that much of a positive effect on the damage here. You'll see we go from 295.6 to 296.6. So I don't really think it's necessarily worth it. I think we can just take this and see how it works against the Gaia. Part of me thinks the Gaia might have like a damage limit in terms of how much damage you can deal to it, but I am not certain if that's the case. And so without further ado, let's find out, shall we? So we'll shift right click here. We'll eat our Insanium apple. And then as soon as this guy spawns in, we'll hit him with our new powerful unobtanium sword, and we'll see. Yeah, I think he's limited, so I don't really think it's worth doing this. Like, it's cool to have, I guess, but certain boss fights, like the Gaia, are kind of hard capped on how much damage you can do, and so you still have to hit him the same number of times anyway. All right, nice. Okay, so that's Gaia 1 taken care of. We did get our 16 Gaia Spirit Ingots there, which you love to see. I do actually like the extra speed that we get there. Before we were taking the pants off when we used the Gaia fight, but the extra speed from the Supremium leggings combined with the Insanium apple did make it a little easier to hit him because he does move and teleport around quite quickly. So getting to him fast was definitely easier with that. We're just going to do the same thing again here. We're going to take another Terra Steel. We're going to put that in the middle. We're going to do something like this, and we're going to go do the exact same fight one more time. Hopefully, the last time for this pack. Oh, you can attack with the sword. Wow, okay. I did not think to do that because he teleports away so fast, but the Twitch chat did point out that we can actually just spam attack with the sword, and you can actually get a few hits in before he teleports away, which makes me think that potentially it might have been worth it to add redstone to this sword to make it faster, or maybe even potentially get a just faster sword in general. I know the small dagger from Tinker's comes quite quick and does already have it. If you make it out of unobtanium, it has quite a high attack damage, so I think if we'd have done something like that, we could have potentially done a lot more damage in a lot smaller period of time. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, there is Gaia fight number 2. That really wasn't too difficult. Nice. Okay, cool. So we'll get rid of all of these, and we should be good to go here. Let's craft up 1, 2, 3, 4 Gaia Spirit Ingots. Those are going to go in the corners here. We then need the remaining Gaia Spirits just in regular Gaia Spirit form, so we'll take all of those. Again, I think we only need 8, actually. We need 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And then to finish this off, let me dump everything else in our inventory here. We need quite a lot of mana pools. 64, I think, is enough. I'll do this, and we can always shift-click that in. That will be fine. We then need a bunch of diluted mana pools, which of course requires that we first make some slabs, and then finally we need the glowing ones, the fabulous mana pools, which we can make with the shimmer rock. We need Bifrost. That is fine. Okay, how much glass do we have in the system? We've got loads. Do we have a rod of the Bifrost available to us? Of course we do. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and craft that. Of course, this does need to be elf glass. That is my bad. Do we have any elf glass? No. Okay, that's fine. We'll take our regular glass. We need to turn that all into mana glass, which we can do with our creative mana pool over here. I do wonder, can I make this faster? I totally can. Nice. Okay. I also do wonder, can I make the portal faster? Because you can throw like 2 stacks of alf glass through. But then if I do this, oh, I was really hoping I could. Oh, you can. Nice. Cool. That is something I did not know before. 56 here might be enough. We need 5 multiplied by 16, which is more than 56 actually. And so real quick, do we have any more mana glass? We don't. That's fine. We'll take more regular glass, turn that into mana glass, and then turn that into alf glass. And then at that point, I think finally we should have everything we need. All right, so we now have 2 stacks of alf glass. Let's take half of the mana pools we made in here, and then let's do something like, not this, we want to take our Rod of the Bifrost first and do something like this. Once we have a stack of these, then we can do something like this. That gets us 32 of these fabulous mana pools, although I'm pretty sure that 16 is all we need. So I probably will just make the amount we need because I definitely don't want to end up in a situation where I have to go and get more living rock. We're not going to need the alf glass for anything else though, so we can do something like this, and I'll take exactly 16 of these. Fantastic. We can drop those in, and then after that, we just need the diluted mana pools, which we can go ahead and get, like so. Again, I think 13 might not be enough. Let's do this. 25 definitely should be enough. Do we have what it takes? We do not. We're just missing the Terra Steel, of course, but we have 80 Terra Steel in the system, and so once we grab that, it's just a case of crafting that together. Nice. All right, chat. I think that we have every single item required to make this happen. Let's go in here and let's type in creative and let's start pulling stuff out, shall we? 2 jetpacks, 2 energy cells, 4 controllers, 4 energy cubes, 4 fluid tanks, and then 16 of these upgrades. So we've not made, oh no, we've not made the draconic chest. That needs to go in the center. That's fine. We'll make that in just a second. The jetpack, I think, goes here and here, and I think the creative energy cells, I think, go there and there. That is indeed correct. We do need to get more tanks, of course, but that's because we have 2 tanks down that we're going to pick up. And I also can't help but notice, I don't think we have enough creative energy cubes. I really thought I'd made all of those, but if we need to make a few more, that's not going to be a problem. The infinite storage disks we have made. I'll take all of those. We got 5 of them, and I think 5 is correct. We need 6 of these. Did I not make all of these either? Am I losing my mind? You're going to go here. There's a creative tank here. You go here. And then I think these go here and here. Is that correct? That is correct. Let me get these in. We've got 4, 8, 12, 16 of those. That is completely fine. Then the creative fluid tanks go here and here. And I think at the top there as well. They do indeed. Let me go grab the blocks of unobtanium as well. That's going to make this craft come together quite nicely. We'll take a stack of those, and then we'll get those all filled in into the quadrants. And so we'll do 9 here, we'll do 9 here, we'll do 9 here, and of course, you guessed it, we'll do 9 down here. Okay, so what are we missing? There's 2 more discs. I think those go there and there. So I did have 6 discs. I was worrying for nothing. That's fine. We need 2 more tanks, which we have, and then it looks like we don't have the other creative energy cells. We're missing 2 of them, but everything else, and of course the draconic chest, everything else we have. Okay, so for the draconic chest, that just requires a regular chest, 5 furnaces, 2 draconium cores, 2 crafting tables, and a draconium block. That should be fine, and all of that I think is done on these Wyvern crafting injectors. It is indeed. Actually, it's draconium. You don't even need this high tier. That's fine. So let's take 5 furnaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have enough of these? I don't, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're in stack mode, I see. Let me take some of those back. Let me shift right click that into single item mode and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Then we need 2 draconium cores. Of course, we only have the 1. Making a second one is not going to be a problem. Here we can go 1 and 2. And then I don't know if we have any more injectors lying around. We do, but we can always make more of these if we need them as well, because they're not really that difficult to make. Although he says that when we don't have a ton of draconium, we do need this block here. Let's do this and this. I know we need a block on the craft somewhere, and then we also need 2 draconium cores, which we've got. So now we just need 2 crafting tables, I think, and that's everything. So I need 1 more of these crafting injectors. That should be fine. We've got some draconic essence, we can do something like this, and then hopefully that is enough. We can make one more core, we can make one more injector, and we can put that down, let's say, right about here, like that. And then if we grab 2 crafting tables out of our system, we can go 1, and of course that's not in stack mode. Let me take that back out, and then we'll put it back in, 1 and 2, fantastic. And then in the center, it's just a regular Minecraft chest. With that, chat, I think we are basically good to go. We are indeed. Let's hit craft. That is going to start working its way through the stuff. We might have to put down a flux point or 2 on these crafting injectors that don't currently have one, because I'm fairly certain they also do require power. So let's do this, and then use our flux configurator here and here, and that should come together quite nicely. There we go. The charging is finished. The crafting has begun. We can make it just that tiny bit faster with our time in a bottle, and boom, we have the draconium chest. This is a very large chest, but unfortunately not going to get its time in the sun, because we are going to throw it directly into the ultimate crafting table here. And now, chat, all we need is, by the looks of it, 2 more creative energy cubes, and of course we already have the creative fluid tanks. So I am hopeful that I can do the crafting for those in here. Let us go ahead and unbookmark this, unbookmark this. We'll bookmark you. I need 2 more of these. So I need 2 more ultimate singularities, which we do have. Fantastic. I'll put everything else here back into the system, including the swords. I don't think we're going to need those for the remainder of the stream. And then we need a bunch of alloys, both elite and atomic. We'll throw all of those just directly into the table. And then we need to get a bunch of energy cubes. We need 4 of these, and then 8 of these, and then a ton of these, and then a bunch of the final tier as well. And you know the deal. We've done this a billion times now. We just need to do 2 of these recipes, and we should be good to go. All right, there we go. 2 more creative energy cubes. Let's get those into their rightful place, which is here and here. And then now it's just a case of taking the creative tanks that we already have. So we don't need any more unobtanium. We've already got a few more blocks left, and we've got all the blocks that we need. So we'll take that and we'll place that in over here. I'm hoping this works, even though it is already full. And then, of course, we also have a tank full of netherite as well, which is all the way back over here. We're going to grab this and also kind of hope that that this also works. I'm pretty sure it will, but there's only one way to find out, and that is if we place it in like so. Chat, we've done it. We have acquired the creative chest for unlimited items. This will cost you every single creative item you have made. Trust me, it's worth it. And we actually get an extra one as a reward, which is a little bit OP. So now that we have this, we essentially can get, I believe, an infinite amount of any item that we like. And so what I am thinking is that if we go into our transmutation tablet and we type in compressed, we have some compressed netherrack. We have some double compressed netherrack right here. If I take a bunch of that, like as much as we can spend, we can then compact this down into, I guess we didn't need to take that much of it because we're going to take 1 of the triple compressed. Now I'm going to put all this back in here, and then I'm going to see if I can't get another triple compressed, because I want to try and get a quadruple compressed, which I totally can. Here we go. And then we'll take that quadruple compressed. I don't think we're going to be able to make a quintuple compressed just yet. Might as well take the rest of these out of here, get some more EMC into our tablet. Let's see though, if I put all of this in and I type in compressed, we have the quadruple compressed here. We can only make 3 of it. That is fine. Oh no, we got, oh no, yeah, we can only make 3. That's okay. But essentially, I think if we take that and then place this in here like this, we now have 64 of those. And I'm pretty sure that if I'm not mistaken, what we should be able to do here is get ourselves a pipe, get an ultimate pipe upgrade, grab the wrench, and grab an EMC link. Now, of course, the highest tier EMC link that we can currently make is the tier 7 one, I believe, the purple, the violet, sorry. And so if we place that down here, we can do something like this, and like this, and you'll see that now we're making almost 200 billion EMC per second. And so now that we've got 2 trillion, we can probably go ahead and craft up the quintuple compressed, which is this guy here. And in fact, I think I have enough to make the quintuple compressed in my inventory. And then we can obviously go ahead and teach that. And then once that has been taught, we can take the quintuple compressed and we can make a sextuple compressed. we can. I don't know if there's a septuple compressed, but we're going to find out. Let me move this over to here. Let's do this, and let's grab as many of the sextuples as we can. Can I make a septuple? You totally can. There's a septuple compressed. It's got 2.5 trillion EMC, so I'll place that in. Is there an octuple compressed? We don't have enough EMC for it, but we can obviously take this out, put in the new septuple, and now we're making 138 trillion EMC per second, and then now we can take out stacks of those incredibly quickly. There is indeed an octuple. I don't know how far this goes here, but we'll throw this in. We'll move you. We'll put you in there. Can I make a noctuple compressed block of netherite? You totally can. It's got an EMC of 174 trillion. Is there a dectuple? A 10x? There's no 10x. Okay, so 9 is indeed the highest. And so if we then take this out and put this in here, we're now making 11 quadrillion EMC per second. Nice. We can time in a bottle it. We can do something like that. Also, can I time in a bottle this? I don't know if we can go higher than 22 quadrillion per second, unfortunately. That's fine, though. I do wonder if I put a second EMC link down, if that might do anything. If I go EMC link and I take this guy, can I put that, like, here? Oh, I can. Yeah, no, that increases it. EMC link. Obviously, there are higher tier EMC links we can make, but unfortunately, they don't have... do they have an EMC value? EMC link. Oh, no, they do have an EMC value. That's my bad. I don't know if we made the blue matter, though. But, you know, if we wanted to. We obviously don't need to, because we have more EMC than we're going to need. But, like, doing this does theoretically increase the amount of EMC we're generating. We're now up at almost 100 quadrillion EMC per second. And so I think, chat, that maybe the final thing we might make here is something that people have been shouting at me to make in the YouTube comments for quite some time, mostly because I think that they didn't realize how expensive it was. But the transmutation interface is this guy right here. It's ridiculously expensive. At least it was ridiculously expensive, at least until right now. But right now it's fairly cheap. To make this, you need 4 energy condenser Mark IIs. And we have, of course, an energy condenser Mark II downstairs that we can go and temporarily, at least, steal to add to our transmutation tablet. Although, to be fair, we really no longer need this itty-bitty little EMC generation setup going forward. So let's go energy condenser, and then let's take 3 more of these. The tricky part about the transmutation interface is this final star shard. The final star shard here, and that's also why these final EMC links, and it looks like I do have to go through and make all these anyway, but the final star shard requires another star, but then 8 colossal star omegas, and each one of these requires 422 trillion EMC. And a moment ago, that was very expensive. We got as far as about 15 billion, maybe, at our peak. Obviously, now that we're up at 2.69 quintillion, and if I press shift, you'll see that's a very, very large number at the top there. At this point, that's chump change, but up until we got the creative chest, that was a very expensive recipe that we just didn't have the ability to make. Now, the downside here is that we do have to do just a lot of crafting for this. We have to start with Mobius fuel, which apparently we don't have in the system. That's fine. We'll grab some Mobius fuel, drop that in, and then that's going to allow us to make the first of these stars, like this, and then basically, chat, we need to take 4 of these, craft them into the next tier, and then you take that one and you EMC it into 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to repeat this craft until we have the highest tier, which is the colossal star omega, and then once we have that, we can obviously make more of them, and then we can use that to get as many final star shards as we need. All right, there it is. We have the colossal star omega. That was a fairly tedious craft, but we now have the ability to make really as many final star shards as we like. Let me put all of this back into the system here. We can go ahead and grab more of these. Annoyingly, the final star shard doesn't itself have an EMC value, and so I do have to shift click in the recipe every time I want to make it. But now there's another fun little bit of crafting to do, because if we actually want to make the transmutation interface, we already have the final star shard, but we need to make 4 of these final tier EMC links, and for that, we have to continue the crafting that we were doing previously, because although we have all the way up to violet matter, we have to continue on, and if I type in matter here, we've got to go from violet through to blue, cyan, green, lime, yellow, orange, white, and then fading, and that's the final one there. So just like before, it's a case of getting the matter from the previous tier with the fuel from the previous tier, crafting that together, EMCing it, and then rinsing and repeating over and over again. All right, there we go. After a bit more somewhat tedious crafting, we now have our first fading matter. And so now let me grab the highest tier EMC link that we have, which is the violet tier 7. And then we just need to run through, and if I type in EMC link over here, we can go from tier 7 to tier 8. We can go from tier 8 to tier 9. We can go from tier 9 to tier 10. From 10 to 11. It's hard to see with all the quest pop-ups coming in the way. That's fine. 11 is there. 12 is there. 13 is here. We need some more matter. That's fine. Orange, white, yellow, fading. I'll take these just in case we don't have enough of them already. And so we were at tier 12. Let's do tier 13, tier 14, and then finally tier 15. Nice. Okay, this is the one that we need. I'll take a few of those. And then with that, we should be able to make, finally, the transmutation interface. So we just need, oh no, we need 16. Hold on, there's one more tier. That's my bad. EMC link. I thought 15 was the final one. It's not. We need 16, and we're out of covalence dust. Of course we are. We don't have any? I really thought we did. Okay, fine. Let me do this and this. We can get more of these two. I can't believe we had just enough to not quite get to the end. And then to make this, we just need diamonds and coal. That is completely fine. Boom, and boom. This right here is the one that we need. Let me... oh, and this one doesn't have an EMC value. Interesting. That's not going to be a problem. It does mean we have to make more of these final star shards, which means a bunch more of these colossal star omegas. You can see now how this would have been an extremely expensive recipe for us to try and make without access to an infinite amount of EMC. But let's do some more of these. After I take this out, some more of these. There we go. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually don't know how many of these I need here. Looks like it says 2, 3, and I think I need one more, right? I do need one more. Okay, that's fine. Let's get 1, 2. That's not right. I need colossal stars. Do I have enough to make this happen? Oh, of course, chat is right. I can just use my creative chest here. I can just put this in like this, and I have 64 of them. Nice, thank you, chat. That is my bad. Let's try that one more time. Transmutation interface. Here we go. Boom and boom. This is a super useful item, or it would have been a super useful item earlier in the game, because basically what it allows us to do is take an external storage, and if we place that onto the transmutation interface, like this, and we're going to need a cable as well. That's fine. We can do one of these, but now if we open our system has access to everything in our transmutation table. And so you'll see that because we have so much EMC that we effectively have 2 billion plus of every single item here. And it doesn't matter how much we take out, we're always going to have 2 billion because of the fact that we have so much EMC available to us. And of course, now if we really wanted to as well, we could take the super high tier Mark 16 EMC link, which can import and export infinite items per second. If we put that down right about here and once again get that pipe with the netherite upgrade, we can put that back down here, set that to extract, put in this guy, and then if we swap that back to the noctuple compressed netherite, now we're up at 230 quadrillion EMC per second, and I think at this point it's the pipe that is slowing us down. I don't know if I can speed that up. I can't, because the pipe already goes once per tick and they're only 20 ticks per second, so it can't move more than a stack per tick. We could, of course, put more pipes down around it, but I don't really think it is necessary because we don't really have much that we can do with all of that EMC. We've got a staggering amount of it, but nothing to do with it now because we have our creative chest, we have our transmutation interface. If we wanted to now, doing the crafts would be a lot easier because crafting anything just involves shift-clicking it in. We no longer have to look inside of the transmutation tablet to get what we need. Chat wants to see if we can duplicate the creative chest in the creative chest. I have a feeling that we can. Yep, we got infinite creative chests there. We can put as many of these down as we like. If you really wanted to, we could go for an insane amount of EMC, but I don't think that's going to do anything other than potentially crash the server if the number gets too high. And so yeah, chat, I think that is going to about do it for Mystical Block. I had a really good time with this pack. I liked the premise. I like starting out with mystical agriculture and using that as our primary way of generating resources. I had a good time expanding out our EMC production and trying to get an insane amount of insanium. And of course, I love building these massive pair of energy balls for storing all of our power for the future. And of course, the rainbow generator is a fun little way to generate some power as well. that is going to do it for Mystical Block. I'll be back very shortly with a brand new modded Minecraft series. Until then, if you enjoyed the video and you haven't done so already, you can go ahead and hit subscribe to get notified as soon as new videos go live. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy the series. It helps YouTube promote this to other people, and leave a comment as well. That also helps as well. For now though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.